It's Saturday, March 26, 2022. I'm TC Kirkham, and this is the Kirkham Report. Hey, VC guys and gals, I'm TC Kirkham, the Kirkham Report. Time for my weekly excursion into all things music and a few other things, not so much music, but just me personally. And we're going to kick things off with the cover story everybody's talking about. The entire music world was shaken last night by the death of Taylor Hawkins from Foo Fighters. Taylor was just 50 years old. Foo Fighters frontman Dave Grohl released a statement on the Foo Fighters official website that said, quote, "The Foo Fighters family is devastated by the tragic and untimely loss of our beloved Taylor Hawkins. His musical spirit and infectious laughter will live on with all of us forever. Our hearts go out to his wife, children, and family, and we ask that their privacy be treated with the utmost respect in this unimaginably difficult time." The band was in the middle of a tour which was taking them to South America. No immediate details on what Hawkins died from. There has been some speculation that I won't mention, but it has been said that he apparently called an ambulance himself, but by the time they got there, he was already dead. Hawkins has been with Foo Fighters since 1995 or so, 97. He's been with the band for 25 years. You can tell I don't listen to a lot of their stuff. In addition to enjoying his time with the band and his friendship with Dave Grohl as the drummer of Foo Fighters, he also moved out in front every now and then. He did recently on the Record Store Day Hail Satin album, he did sing the lead on, I think it was Shadow Dancing. It's always really tragic when we lose somebody this young, especially in the rock music world. And it is especially tragic when it's so unexpected as Hawkins' death was. He was revered inside the rock music fan community, inside the rock community in itself. In addition to being one of the stars of Foo Fighters' various outrageously fun videos, he was a loving family man. And as we said, he does have a wife and children that are going to be missing him a lot, as are the entire fandom behind Foo Fighters, the millions and millions of fans he had. Hopefully some light will be brought to, something will be brought to light as to the cause of death. Hopefully it's something that is not going to be make it ultra tragic. But in any case, the death alone is tragedy as it is. Taylor Hawkins dead at 50. Hopefully Foo Fighters will make an announcement sometime in the future as to whether or not they will continue or what their future plans are without him. Number of things coming up for this week's Out of the Box, so let's kick things off, shall we? First up, my latest purchases. Let's see. I'm going to call them the Queens of 45s, Dawn and Mary. I've been buying stuff from them for months. They keep coming up with these great 45 bundles. This is once again 40 total, plus a couple of extra things that I added on there. But some of these I have, some of them I don't. The ones I don't have were obviously the ones I was looking for. And in one set I grabbed particularly because they had a picture sleeve I really wanted. We'll go over those in a minute. Let's kick it off with the first of the 45 bundles here. And I said no particular order. I don't know whether I have them or not as I go through them. Our House, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. I just got the last batch. The last 2 batches I bought them. Just got finished with them in Discogs yesterday. I mean, there was 150 singles there, I think. Cry Me a River and Give Peace a Chance from legendary Joe Cocker. This is obviously one of the older recordings coming from the old A&M early 70s label. Men at Work, It's a Mistake. Song I do not have on single. I only have the album. Great thing. Wanted this because I've always loved this song. Never had it except on digital. Barbra Streisand and Stony End, which was her early attempts to go rock, sort of, in 1970 or 71. Bobby Sherman, Easy Come, Easy Go, and July 17 from his heyday as a recording star. Elton John, Nobody Wins, and Fools in Fashion. I do have this. It's a great song. A lot of the ones I've been going through on Discogs, it turns out I didn't have that particular pressing. On a lot of them I had already, so that was definitely good. Mono pressing from Columbia Hall of Fame. Why Don't You Do Right? And I Got It Bad, and That Ain't Good from Benny Goodman and his orchestra. I don't have much big band in my collection, and I do like quite a bit of it, so that's cool. A collectibles repress of 2 of Sam Cooke's biggest hits, You Send Me and Wonderful World. From the early 1980s on the Sal Soul label, Sky and Call Me and When You Follow Me, I think that says. Or when, wow, the writing on this. When You Touch Me, excuse me. The writing's kind of faded on that. This is obviously not the Blondies' Call Me. It's the Call Me, hey. It's an R&B song. My Kind of Lady and Know Who You Are from Supertramp. Obviously from the 80s with the 80s red A&M label. Another classic Partridge Family, I Think I Love You. Very first single. And Somebody Wants to Love You on the back. Original pressing of King Records, The Coasters, Yakety Yak and Charlie Brown. Those were double-sided hits there. Glenn Yarborough, Baby the Rain Must Fall, and The Honey Wind Blows. I'm not familiar with that one. I know that one, though. Loudon Wainwright III, Dead Skunk in the Road. Very popular in the 70s when it was out, along with Needless to Say. Of course, he is the father of singer Martha Wainwright, who we saw in concert with the Swell Season a few years ago. She was terrific, too. Gino Vanelli, promo of Black Cars. This was his only big hit in the mid-1980s. It was after he jumped labels off of A&M. I very much have this because I have this already, but I needed a new copy because it's been kind of wrecked over the years. David Cassidy's debut solo hit, Cherish. And this is like kind of sticking to the sleeve there. I want to get that undone. The label's kind of wonky there. Here we go. I know that's a different pressing too because of the different font on the label. We'll talk about that one in a second. Classic J5, Never Can Say Goodbye, and She's Good on Motown. War, You Got the Power, and Cinco de Mayo. I'm a bit aback that this is on RCA. When I knew War, they were always on United Artists. So, I don't know if this is later or more earlier. I don't know. Or maybe RCA just bought the repress rights. Out of Space and A Simple Song. I wrote A Simple Song from Billy Preston. Out of Space was his first big instrumental hit. Another song I've always loved, never had. Gordon Lightfoot and Sundown. And Too Late for Praying on the back. Starline from Capital, Anne Murray, Snowbird, and Put Your Hand in the Hand. I didn't know she had a hit with Put Your Hand in the Hand. The version I know is by Ocean. Whoop. Fix camera. Focus. Focus. Come on, camera. Steve Winwood, While You See a Chance, from the 1980s. There we go. Lucky by Greg Kihn, Sad Situation. I always loved this song. It never did as well as it could have. I always loved Greg Kihn, too. I thought he was a terrific artist. Tell Me Tomorrow, Parts 1 and 2 from Smokey Robinson. Leave Me Alone, Ruby Red Dress, and The Old Fashioned Way from Helen Reddy. Again, I have this on an album. Never had it on a 45. Helen hated that song. And I mean, I really can't blame her either. She's always, you know, you have to sing Leave Me Alone 16 times in a row. Twice. Each chorus. So it got kind of monotonous for her, I imagine, even though it was one of her biggest hits. Suddenly and Lucky Man from Billy Ocean. I don't remember this label either, so this is going to be a different one than one I have. Promo from Bad English, Forget Me Not, LP version and the edited version on Epic. Dancing on the Ceiling and Love Will Find a Way from Lionel Richie. Lori back-to-back hits, Double Gold, Abraham, Martin, and John, and Both Sides Now from Dion. Brunswick, I think this is an original press. Louie Louie and High on the Hill. No, it's a hits. Louie Louie by the Kingsmen and High on the Hill by Scott English on this one. There you go. Which way that is, so you can see it. Columbia Hall of Fame, Let's Groove and Sing a Song from Earth, Wind, and Fire. One of the greatest R&B bands of all time. I love Earth, Wind, and Fire. What an odd colored label. Atlantic, From a Distance, and One More Round from Bette Midler. I have never seen an Atlantic label that color. They're usually red or, on the odd occasion, silver. That is the weirdest off-red I've ever seen. When Irish Eyes Are Smiling and The Rose of Trellis from Bing Crosby. Re-release, of course. Flashback of the two big hits from Dawn before they became Tony Orlando and Dawn. Candida and Knock 3 Times on the other side. And Buckner and Garcia and their one big hit, Pac-Man Fever. I still love that song. It was awesome. Two more things of the non-picture sleeves. This is a great record. If you like the cut-in records that were mostly popularized by Dickie Goodman, there's been a few other ones out there. This is one of the best. Convention 72 by the Delegates. This is a radio troupe. I forget which station they used to do, but it was a comic. They had comic newscasters roaming the floor of the first joint Democratic and National Republican convention happening in the same place. Ain't never going to happen in real life. So this is actually a pretty funny record. And once again, for the third time in a row, Don and Mary managed to sneak something into this batch, as I knew they were there, but that song that I absolutely loathe. We had I Can Help. We had The Joker by Steve Miller. Now we've got Feelings by Morris Albert. I have to do this. I'm sorry. I hate that song. The picture sleeves are really something. And there's, I mean, this one I have, I'm Still Standing by Elton John. Terrific, terrific song. And for those of you who don't know, who have never seen the video or never made the association with it, Dancing with the Stars judge Bruno Tonioli is one of the dancers in this video. You should go look at that if you're familiar with Bruno. Anita Baker, Giving You the Best That I Got. An unfortunate price sticker right in the middle of her forehead. And this is what I have been wanting, because as many Partridge Family things as I have never had a picture sleeve. This is for Doesn't Somebody Want to Be Wanted. It's too bad if it's for a song I don't particularly care for. But I love the flip side. You Were Always on My Mind. That's one of my favorite songs by them. Great picture, too. I also picked up this. This is a flexi disc that was put out by Buddha Records. I believe this came out, if I'm not mistaken, with a brand of potato chip. I had this years ago. I may still have it boxed up somewhere. But I was like, I want to grab that because I remember it being pretty cool. Special bonus record. I don't know. Maybe it came with the, it may have came with the 20 Years of Rock and Roll set from Dick Clark, because Buddha put that out too. Inside Stories with Dick Clark. Note the awful positioning of the spindle hole. Makes you look like somebody shot him right between the eyes. Yeah, 20 years ago it passed. So this is from that. Also picked up a couple other things from Don and Mary that were music related. They had these great dividers for sale for the 45s. I'm actually going to relabel them because I don't really use the numbers, but I'm going to reuse this. I got some more of these coming from somebody else too. And with that, I also picked up something else I may still have that I'm not sure about. But I used to have a lot of these when I was a kid. I think everybody did. When I was a kid, early 70s, it was not uncommon for cereal manufacturers to put cut-out records on the back of their cereal boxes. Now, of course, in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s, they started putting CDs in, which is not easier. But I had most of these, and this is, I don't know if I ever had this one or not, so I grabbed it. This is You Know I Love You from the Archies. This is definitely a collector's item. These are going for insane prices on eBay. I saw one of these for the Jackson 5. I don't remember which cereal it was. It was a Post brand. One of the Jackson 5 ones, I think it had ABC or They'll Love You Save on it, went for $200 on eBay a few months ago. Insane. That's my haul from Don and Mary. I got more coming up. Stick around. My latest haul from Record Crate is not nearly as large as it usually is. I've been kind of toning it down because of all the 45s I've been buying from Don and Mary. But I actually did buy a few 45s from Adam, but I also bought some albums. Two of which I knew, and the other two I don't know, but I trust the band. And the other one was a recent release that I just sounded intriguing to me. First of all, back to 1975, I believe, Maria Muldaur, Waitress in a Donut Shop. This is the follow-up to her self-titled album. Yes, I can talk. That had Midnight at the Oasis. This one has her other hit, I'm a Woman, on it. I always loved Maria Muldaur. I think she got the shaft from pop radio listeners. This one, I know the band, but I do not know this particular album. Chic and Real People. This came out in 1980, after their real big peak from 1978 to 1980 with Dance Disco Heat and Le Freak and all those. This album is one of the greatest albums ever made of synthesizer music. If you don't know Synergy, you should. And Sequencer is my favorite album. This has an incredible all-synthesizer version of Classical Gas on it. I have this on cassette. I am so happy to have it on vinyl now. Absolutely fabulous album. And the other one, I have not opened this yet. I'm going to. It has a download code, so I'll be able to listen that way if I want to, too. It is Jazz Organ from the Delvon Lamar Organ Trio, Cold as Weiss. Because that's one of the two dudes that's with him here, Jimmy James and Daniel Weiss. Or perhaps Weiss, I don't know how it's pronounced. I love his kind of stuff, and when Adam had it up, it was $23, I think. I'm like, I'll take that. I want to try that. So I have. I've listened to some of it on Spotify. It's actually really, really good. So those are the LPs. Now, the 45s I bought from Adam. Some were picture sleeves, some were not. But again, there's a rarity here that I really, I mean, it's not rare for price-wise, but I can't believe this happened to come along at a time when I had just used the song on Obscuria. So, Dave Edmonds, I Hear You Knockin' in Blue Monday on the MAM, I always call it MAM, Greatest Hits set. This sucker goes for $20 on eBay, on Discogs. I'm like, why? It's just a 45. And Blue Room Records, wherever Adam got it from, had it for $3. House the Rising Sun and Bring It On Home by the Animals. Abco re-release. Amazing Rhythm Aces, The End Is Not in Sight, and their hit Third Rate Romance on repeat. Again, a reissue. Picture Sleeves from Dennis DeYoung, Desert Moon. I only have the album. I do not have the 45, so this is new to me, and I love it. Love Dennis. Gilbert O'Sullivan and Claire. Look at that picture sleeve. Is that not adorable? Awesome, and in great, great shape. Robert Tepper and No Easy Way Out from Rocky IV. This is the only hit he's had, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Great song. And Adam had a bunch of stuff that he'd picked up at various places, and he had this. It is a single of Germany, from Germany, by a band called Die Blue Diamonds. I believe they were both, I think they're both Indian, and I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up. This is their 1962 recording of Sukiyaki, the song from Kyu Sakamoto, which I just played on Obscuria a couple weeks ago. Great song. I've never heard it sung in German. This should be fun. So that's my latest pickup from Record Crate. I have more 45s coming from Don and Mary. I have more 45s coming sometime soon from Charlie Grace. So I'm sure they're going to be up here before long as we say goodbye, slip into Out of the Box for another week. And it's that time of month again. The March Black Box Record Club has arrived. I've pre-scored it, haven't looked at it. So we will see what's in here together. Black Box, $43, $44.99 a month. 2 brand new albums every month. So far, I'm 90% satisfied. All great stuff. Let's see what we got in here. Okay. Alrighty. Album number 1. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, there we go. Oh, hey. 2021 division of Cleopatra Records. Dionne Warwick. A Special Evening with Dionne Warwick. That should be good. I love Dionne. She's fantastic. On silver vinyl. It says, recorded June 2003 at the Syracuse Jazz Festival. So it's a live album. This should be really fun. Limited edition. Does that thing actually say what I think it says? Limited edition simulation only of silver vinyl. Would you look at that? Is that just the most screwed up thing you've ever seen? Yeah, and this is a gatefold, too. I'll have to look at that in a minute. All right, what's the other one? Let's see what the other one is. Oh, wow, this is early stuff. Or maybe not. I haven't seen him for quite a while. I don't see a date on this. I'm thinking it's not actually new. I think it's actually newer than, yeah, 2019. George Benson, Walking to New Orleans, Remembering Chuck Berry and Fats Domino. Ooh, this is going to be fun too. Love George during his heyday in the 70s and 80s. This has Nadine, Ain't That a Shame, Rocking Chair, You Can't Catch Me, Havana Moon, I Hear You Knocking, Memphis, Tennessee, Walking to New Orleans, Blue Monday, and How You've Changed on it. Quite an impressive list of people working here. Released on Pro Vogue Records. I have never heard of that label. I haven't seen George in a long time, so this is going to be fun to listen to. I love his stuff. It is 180 gram vinyl. It also comes with a download. That's cool. No, it must not be colored because it doesn't say. Dion's album has, let's see, They Long to Be Close to You. She recorded that well before the Carpenters. She did it. Richard Chamberlain did it. A number of people did it before the Carpenters made a hit with it. Don't Make Me Over, Walk On By, Anyone Who Had a Heart, I Say a Little Prayer, Alfie, Heartbreaker. Wow, okay. All the early stuff and then Heartbreaker. And then back to early stuff. Do You Know the Way to San Jose? I'll Never Love This Way Again, which was later, of course. What the World Needs Now Is Love, and That's What Friends Are For. So it's a combination, mostly her older classics, which is fantastic as far as I'm concerned. So Dionne Warwick, George Benson, Black Box has done it again. Let's see if we have what we have in the Black Box card this month. Okay. Black Box Record Club. There it is. Music is probably the only real magic I have encountered in my life. There's not some trick involved with it. It's pure and it's real. It moves, it heals, it communicates, and does all these incredible things. Quote from the always fantastic Mr. Tom Petty. Miss Tom, he was terrific. Black Box, thank you for another great shipment. I can't wait to see what arrives for April. Rhode Island's Houston is the first finalist of the semi-finalist rather of the American Song Contest. Houston won the jury vote on Monday night's debut of the American Song Contest, and he will automatically move to the semifinals. We will find out which three of this week's first contenders will move through when episode 2 gets underway Monday night, March 29th. There will be, once again, let me make sure, 11 competitors in this week's contest. Kansas, represented by Broderick Jones. Kentucky, represented by the voice champion Jordan Smith. Maine, represented by King Coyote. Montana, represented by Jonah Prill. Nebraska, represented by Jocelyn. New York, represented by Anissa. North Dakota, represented by Chloe Fredericks. Ohio, represented by Macy Gray. Oregon, represented by Courtship. The U.S. Virgin Islands, represented by Cruz Rock. And Virginia, represented by Almira Zaki. Of the ones that were on this past Monday, I gave you the live show after it. I'm doing a live broadcast every week after the American Song Contest for the duration of the show. I gave my opinions then. According to YouTube views, and keep in mind this is all subjective because YouTube views do not necessarily reflect the actual voting public, the likely candidates going through are Alexa from, I believe she's from Oklahoma, Ryan Charles from Wyoming, and Michael Bolton from Connecticut. They have the three are the most views, other than Houston, who was in third place for the views at the beginning of this today's check. Interesting to see how it does and how it pans out. Ratings were pretty good. Did over 2 million views and 2 million viewers at the time it was done. We'd love to get that up. I want to see the American Song Contest become a hit in America the same way Eurovision is around the rest of the world. A lot of Eurovision countries are actually watching the show to see how well we do. And of course, as I mentioned last week, the winner of the American Song Contest will perform their winning song at the Eurovision Song Contest finals on May 12th, I believe, during the interval between the voting and the announcement of the votes. It'll be interesting to see. Meanwhile, speaking of Eurovision, all the songs are now out. We will start me. It's not we, it's me. I will start my annual Eurovision coverage 1 week from Sunday. That works out to April 3rd. The first week, every year I do a count up where I post about each song on my website. This will be on the KirkhamReport.com. You'll need to go over and read the reviews. I will be doing 2 songs a week the first week and 1 song a day. 2 songs a day that first week and 2 songs. Let me get that again. It's been a long day. 2 songs a day for the first week, 1 song a day thereafter, until we get through all 39 or 40 songs that are part of this year's contest. And I rank them starting from my least favorite through my favorite, and I tell you a little bit about the songs, a little bit about the artists, a little bit about the country's history in Eurovision, and a lot more, and we will talk more about that as time goes on. In the meantime, don't forget to join me Monday night after the American Song Contest at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. I gave away a spoiler last week. I don't want to do that again, but you know, I do want to talk about it. So West Coast, you're welcome to join me at 7:10 Eastern Time, Pacific Time. But be aware that we might be discussing results that you don't know yet. So just so you know. But in any case, I hope you'll come by and chat and talk about the songs. And that is going to do it for Contest Fever this week. You know, I have been talking about these ladies for weeks and weeks on end, but I have never given them a formal shout out, and by God, it's time it happens. This week's shout out goes to 2 hip chicks. Dawn and Mary are absolutely 2 of the coolest people on the planet. They're smart, they're funny, they're shrewd. I met them because they started doing some sales with Adam at Record Crate last year, and after that they also did their own auction for a while. Dawn and Mary are both part of the reseller community. They have a large following and do auctions every week on several different channels. But mostly Dawn and Mary and I have connected because we have similar tastes. We're similar ages. They're a little bit older than me, not much. And we have similar taste in music. Dawn is a massive Carpenters fan, a massive Miko fan. So we definitely connect in that way. Mary and I have lots of fun bantering back and forth about television and movies and stuff, and it's just been a great deal of fun knowing them. They have some great stuff. In addition to their regular appearances on various auctions, best known for their musical interludes on Cajun Roots Reseller, Johnny's midweek hump day auction. They also do a couple of other ones throughout the week, and they have 2 of their own shows. They host Chick Chat Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12 noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, and also at 12 noon on Mondays they do 2 Hip Chicks Gaming, Retro Gaming, where they do classic video games on old systems. And they've taken the last couple of weeks off that because of time going on, but they are a riot watching those. The talk shows, the Chick Chats, are always hilarious. I've met so many great people hanging out there. And it's just been terrific following them. Not to mention all the stuff that they've sold me. Albums, CDs, even an old school 1980s style Nerf gun. I mean, I've bought so many weird things from them, it's funny. Check them out. They have sales. They do their weekly auction stuff, and they also have sites all over. And I'll have their main website so you can take a look at it in the show notes. Dawn and Mary, the two hip chicks, TOO hip chicks, because they're not too hip for the room. They're just right for everybody in the VC, and that is why I'm giving Dawn and Mary, the two hip chicks, my shout out of the week this week. Remember a little while ago, a few minutes ago, I was talking about how I had a 45 package coming from Charlie Grace. That may not be happening. In between the time I recorded that segment and the time I'm doing this now, I got an email from Charlie Grace this afternoon. And she's like, I held off on sending this because the postage was outrageous. Now, she was going to send it UPS because it's the easiest thing for her. And they wanted $26 more total for postage, so more than what I offered. So I made the specific offer, and for postage they wanted my offer plus $26 for postage. I'm like, that is outrageous. I mean, I figured it would be, 2 boxes of good size 45s would probably be 30 or 40. So we're not sure where we are there. I don't want her to have to go to all that expense, and I certainly can't afford to go pay above and beyond what I'm paying her for the 45s for postage or shipping. So we'll see where it comes. But Charlie Grace, I do thank you for contacting me and for connecting with me, and hopefully we'll be able to work something out. I don't know. If not, like I said in the email I sent back to you, I'm sure there's plenty of great places in Nashville that would be happy to take them off your hands. But I definitely would still like them if we can work it out a deal. So in any case, check out her channel, Charlie Grace Adventures, and I hope we can work it out. There's a lot of great vintage stuff there. But if not, it's okay. And thank you for understanding that I can't afford stuff like that. I really appreciate it. And that's Back Pages for this week. I'm running a little late today, so I'm going to mosey on out of here. Artists You Should Know will return next week. We have not got one on this week because I've got extra stuff going on. Don't forget to check the shows throughout the week. I've been slacking on a couple of those too. I will get back to getting everything in place when I can manage my schedule a little bit better. But Influencers is still up every Tuesday at 4. The Groove Lines production is actually proving harder than I had imagined, and it is proving to be, it may actually not come to pass. I'm still working on it, so give me a little bit more time. Off the Charts is coming. I have the next one ready, but I just haven't had time to shoot it yet. And Rockin' Reviews hopefully will return on Friday. Plus, I said we're doing this new retro thing I want to try sometime, Sundays or whatever. That'll be coming up in a couple of weeks. I've got Daily Obscuria, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern, where I play a different obscure hit song. Has hit a chart, mostly have hit the charts here in America, but some of them I've taken from the Canadian charts. And it's a lot of fun, and I hope that you will come over and check it out. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and please leave a comment on everything whenever you watch it, because I love getting feedback from my readers and my watchers and my viewers and my everything else, and I always try to get back to you as soon as I can, usually within a couple of days. And I appreciate your views. Subscription count's going up. I must be doing something right. That's a good sign. And I hope that everybody has a great week. Don't forget to check out the live show I'm doing also after each week's edition of the American Song Contest. It is on Eastern Time, 10:10 p.m., Pacific Time, 7:10 p.m., right after the East Coast airing of the American Song Contest. Be aware if you're watching from anywhere but the East Coast time zone, you may be getting spoilers, because I will be talking about the whole show. So just so you know, spoiler alert, out there. Thank you for watching and for listening. I appreciate your time and your effort and the time you take to listen to me. Whether you do it right straight through or whether you do it on double speed or whatever, it's still much appreciated. Until next time, I'm TC Kirkham for the Kirkham Report. I'll see you soon. Ciao, baby.